So we are coming back to where we left last time. So with what in this very interesting set of observations which are there in the book, which we are going to elaborate within the background of maybe 300 years of our understanding of space and time, rather space and time from Newton to Einstein, and the sort of fundamental revision in our understanding which has given rise to whole plethora of ideas which revised a sort of worldview, which Iqbal is also trying to just maybe point out in favor of his own religious worldview, uh, because sort of materialism which was sort of necessitated by Newtonian mechanistic worldview, although in retrospect it can be seen also as if a debate of Newton and Leibniz in trying to rescue a certain theology, in trying to give role of God or creator, how we can see things in these two worldviews, where the omnipotence somehow seems to be compromised in Leibnizian argumentation, which was somehow deflected away by Clerk, uh, Clerk, student of Newton. So Newton speaking through Clerk. So what? So if I'll read this passage, which will serve as a, what I should say, how can later develop on these ideas. What, for example, what Iqbal says is that with Einstein, space is really real but relative to observer. He rejects Newtonian concept of an absolute space. The object observed is variable. It is relative observable. Its mass, shape, and size change as the observer's position and speed change. Movement and rest too are relative to observer, and there is therefore no such thing as self-subsistent materiality of classical physics, which I was trying to say in that sense. So the sort of materialism which was being necessitated, maybe the whole one's ideas or one's things are taken from Newtonian paradigm, and whole how it just was in the how it was, what I should say, crystallized, or how it was formulated in the Kantian notions of space and time, the epitome of it. In terms of a philosophy or in terms of a worldview, it necessitated a sort of materialism. And in turn, it had a negative influence on how people from who want to believe that the sacredness of the world, the worldview of the world, that it's there's a power behind it, or there's some theology attached to it. So the later day developments of a Kantian approach of things, which was based on denial of metaphysics, which led to whole plethora of other theories, from materialism to logical positivism to skepticism, and the modern day understanding of the base of it, what I should say, the history of materialism can be traced to these ideologies, and they can be traced to a particular viewpoint of space and time, which was interpreted, the Newtonian space-time, which was interpreted in a certain way. But Newtonian space-time has a sort of absolutization attached to it. So there was always an absolute notion of space and absolute notion of time, and it was later contested. Even though in Newtonian time also the absolutization was contested by Leibniz, that you cannot fundamentally have absolute relative space and time, or notions of space and time, are relative in that sense. So how the change came about? So it's a very peculiar history, or it's a very interesting history. How our notions of space, they just transformed or transconfigured or translated into our current understanding of space and time, starting from Newtonian space time, to how special theory of relativity saw it, and how general relativity saw it. So there's a whole trajectory can be seen to it, how it has developed in that sense.